What's going on, YouTube? How y'all doing today? Real McCoy here. Yes, I know, I shaved finally. Got to get a haircut next week. But anyway, figured that since the easy video for me, since work's been so hectic, I would go over my 2024 fishing gear list, rod and reels, baits, bags, everything that you see here in the background. So yeah, let's just get into it. Boat boy. Yes! Alright guys, so I know there's a lot to unpack here on this table. I'm going to try to simplify it for you, but this is my boat and truck bag. This is pretty much my storage bag that I keep everything in. It's a KastKing. It's been an awesome bag. I'll put the link down in the description. But yeah, this is what I keep all my stuff in. If I need to restock on my little bag, this is kind of where it goes, or like I said, in the truck or on the big boat. So all these tackle boxes, they go in it. These are all 3700 size. I got 3 different types of boxes here, and we'll kind of go over that. Over here, I have my bag for either pond hopping or if I'm, walking a creek or just in a little 2-man boat. And of course, this bag ain't gonna fit. So it's been a really good bag. It's a SOG. It's not made for fishing, but it just happened to work out that way. This is all the stuff that goes in here. But yeah, I guess to get started, we'll go over tools that I use, that I keep in my bags. I like a good scale. This is a Rapala. I'm not sure which one. If I can find it, I'll link it. But this has been a great scale. It's off about 2 ounces is what I've come up with. But that's, it's not that big of a deal. If you catch one that's sure enough good size, you can just kind of guess. But good pair of split ring pliers. I like to have those. And a good pair of fishing pliers for getting hooks out of fish's mouth. These are a Cuda brand. They get an awesome grip to them. These have been really nice pliers. I like a good thing of fingernail clippers for snipping line or what so. These are Rapala, but I also like the boomerang scissors. These are good for cutting your braid, but they cut about anything, so those have been really helpful. These little rig wranglers, these are for your A-rigs. These are actually really cool. I've got some opened already, but these are a really cool tool to use when you got your A-rigs on your rod to keep them all tight together. So those are pretty cool. I like a good pair of gloves, fingerless gloves at that, but just out there in the sun, you got to take care of your skin from sun damage. I like to wear a hat, nice fishing shirt, but good pair of gloves, always nice to have. To store my rods, as you can see over here, I like to keep all kind of rod sleeves on them, just to protect the rods, the guides, and everything. And then I run a reel cover over. They've come out with a couple new ones that I've been wanting to try, but these work really well. And then, these rod glove savers, I'll snip these to the rods, and they hang on the reel handle. So just keep the rod sleeves on them while you're going down the road or whatnot. So those are nice too. Alrighty, so moving on from there, the big bag. So like I said, this has been a great bag for me. I got it last year, and it's just been really nice. It'll hold all these plus I think 2 more. And I'll go over how many it holds in a minute. But in this big pocket here, I keep these Nichols tapeworm. These are like a 18-inch worm. Let me see here. Yeah, 18-inch. Just keep a couple other different baits in here. I got 20-inch snakes, that I'm going to end up using. We're going to do some cool videos with that this summer. But just some odd and end other little stuff that I got in here that I don't use as often as everything else. On top here, it's got this nice mesh here. I keep hooks in one of these pockets, weights in the other, and then just this is a wacky rig tool. If you're into wacky rigs, you need to get you one of these. It's a lifesaver. So I'll just put that in there when I need it. In the back of the bag, it's also got these mesh pockets that I keep all types of different worms. I'll keep worms, lizards, vice versa, but I got all kinds of stuff with different brands. You know, from Blizzards, Power Bait, Zoom. Been getting into the net bait stuff. Got into that last year, but Goovin Squad baits, you know, there's a lot of hate on them, but they do work. They're good baits. They're a little bit soft. They tear pretty easy, but they do work. So got a good bit of them that you can see on the wall behind me also. But yeah, this has been a great bag. I keep adding in stuff on the sides. Here I've got let's see, all kind of different line. You know, the Max Quattro is one of my favorite breeds when I'm running braid to leader. FC Shock Fluorocarbon. I'm sorry, that stuff's really well. But I got all types of different line in here, from leaders, fluoro to mono. But moving on from there, got just odd and end soft baits in these pockets. Just all kind of different stuff. I believe this pocket is where I got a lot of swim bait type stuff. Kitex. Yep, Kitex for running swim baits, bladed jigs, whatever I'm wanting to run. This pocket here, just more soft baits, and I got fingernail clippers in case I break mine or someone needs them. Split shot weights, I don't ever hardly use them, but they're there if I do need them. That's just a lanyard for another fingernail clipper. And then these are just your you know, to keep your fish, different types there. But and I believe that's it. We got one more pocket over here, and I ain't got nothing in there right now. That are actually, these two side pockets, I believe, hold a 3600 size box, so that'd be pretty interesting if you needed something specifically carry in there. But we'll just throw all this in there, move it out the way. Alright, so moving on from there, these are just some baits that were in that bag that I got this year. These are some Zoom, these are 12 inch, and then some 8 inch, some 11 inch net baits, more net baits. But net bait has started coming out with the bait fuel stuff now. You see the difference in these two bags here. It's the same bait pretty much, both C-Max, but this one has the bait fuel added in now. It's the new stuff they're coming out with. Seems to work pretty well. So going over these, I like a waterproof box. These were on sale at Tackle Warehouse. They have their brand on them, but let's see, these are a Plano brand, but this is what I use for my soft, well, not just soft, but I got some hard swim bait type stuff in here. Just all kind of different mag drafts, some Mega Bass lures, and the old faithful there, the Mepps Minnow. I got several different of them, several different sizes. They come in all different sizes and colors, but that's just my swim bait box there. I got some more swim baits that are a little bit too big for this box. I won't fit, but that's what I keep in swim baits. And then I got hard top water baits, just whopper ploppers and poppers and all different type of walking baits for top water. And then all my frogs. I got frogs and rats in here, all kind of different brands of frogs, rats, just popping frogs, hollow body frogs, all type of different stuff. So move on from there. These are all my different crankbaits. These are lipless and mostly shallow diving crankbaits, just all different brands, different sizes. But these boxes here have worked really well. I like them. Moving on from there, we got the Plano. These are the which one are these? Yeah, there's 3700 size. I'm not sure which one these are, but they work really well. They got a pretty cool locking system on them. But got some more swim baits that are just too big for that box. And then this was actually a spinnerbait box, but I didn't like how the spinner baits were held in here. It kind of bent the metal rod, the wire, so I ended up getting rid of those slots and getting me some Busby bags. These are pretty sweet. They're a little bit expensive, but I kind of like how this is made. I got my 3/8 ounce, ½ ounce, and 3/4 ounce. I don't really fish just a whole lot of those, but pretty cool how those are in there. And these are just a bunch of different buzz baits that I've got over the years. So that's what I'll put in there. And like I said, for right now, these big swim baits, they fit in there. But these have been some pretty good boxes. They're a little bit expensive, but they're nice. The other Plano, this is their jig box. This box ain't so bad. It doesn't, you know, your jigs, they just kind of fit in there, and doesn't really bother them. But it'll hold your bladed jigs, your chatterbaits, type stuff like that. The Bass Mafia stuff, there's some good boxes. They're a little bit heavy. I probably wouldn't buy any more. I'd stick with the old Plano. But this is just my jerkbait box. Got quite a bit of those, different ones. Megabass, Rapala. But and then Megabass, they have a terminal coffin tackle box, but it just holds different weights, hooks, different types of bladed jigs, or whatever type of stuff, pegs for your Texas rigs. But anyway, but that covers what I have in my big box. All that goes in there. Like I said, I got 2 more boxes over in the corner, so it'll hold 10 3700 size boxes. It's a little bit tight, but depending on what size boxes you get, you see these are a little bit thicker than the others. But this is just a SOG little backpack. It's like a tactical type company, but had a little good stuff. Something I carry with me, this is Sting Kill. This stuff is awesome. If you get stung by a wasp or anything that just stings, these things are pretty cool. You just break the little glass insert and it fills that cotton swab up, and you just rub it on. That stuff is awesome. So I recommend having something like that if you are fishing, because you never know when you might get up in a wasp nest or hornet or anything like that. So, but yeah, this is a good little bag. It's got a back piece back here that I have soft baits I'll stuff down in, and it's got a front pocket here. I'll put the pliers in this molly right here. But this has been a really good bag for what I'm using it for. But in here, this is just 2 Plano boxes, 3600 size, and I've got all kind of different stuff in here, between spinner baits and jigs to bladed jigs, just all kind of different little swim baits and hooks for Texas rigs, you know, pegs for that, weights, crankbaits. Over here, I've got, again, just hooks and top waters and frogs and all kind of just different stuff. Whatever I might need on the boat. So, little 2-man boat are on the bank. So, these are just different kind of baits that I use in the bag that I'll have in there with me. Really, probably my favorite crawdad type bait is the Rage Tail. These things are awesome. They got a coffee scent to them, but those things have worked for years. They make all kinds of different colors. I like the green pumpkin. But power bait worms, zoom worms, you know. I actually need to restock. I got some lizards I usually keep on me with these. But anyway, well, that covers all the baits that I'm going to be pretty much using. I got, you know, of course, you buy baits every time you go to the store. So I'm sure I'll be adding to that. But now I reckon that we'll just get into the fishing rods. Alrighty guys, so to get started, I figured I'd start off with the fishing rod rack that I'm using. I could have made my own, but I saw this and thought it was really cool. And it's made by Big Daddy Fishing Rod Racks, I believe is the name. But they got several different styles. But these are like an EVA foam. They work really well. I like them. And you know, it looks good, and it saved me a lot of time. So yeah, just to get started, right here, these right here are crappie rods for just when you're out wading and jigging for them. But so, you know, of course, those ain't for bass fishing. But moving on over here, I have a Dobbins Sierra series. This is a 7.3 medium heavy. It's got a Corrado reel on it, and this is my jig rod. It's not exactly perfect for it, so I might end up switching it out, but it works fine for right now. Here I have the Shimano X Prod. This is a 7-foot medium. This is my shaky head rod. It's got a Corrado on it as well. Most of my Corrados, they're all 7/4 gear ratio. You know, it's just kind of a happy medium that I like. So going to a Dobbins Champion XP series. This is the 7-foot medium heavy. This is my crankbait rod. It's not made for it, but it works really well, in my opinion, for crankbaiting, for shallow crankbaiting anyway. My wife's rod here. This is a 13 fishing with a Daiwa Zillion SVTW. She kind of just uses it for whatever, just lighter type baits. That reel is pretty good with not backlashing. So yeah, moving on. This is her higher end combo. She's got a Curado on a Shimano Curado rod. It's a 610 medium heavy. This is her crankbait rod. She pretty much never takes that crankbait off. That's her favorite bait to use. So anyway, moving on. This is my Texas rig rod. This is a Dobyns Champion XP. It's a 7.3 heavy, and I'm sorry, this is actually my swim bait rod. I got confused, my bad. This is my small swim bait rod. This is a 7.3 heavy. It's got a Curado DC on it. The Curado DC is awesome. I highly recommend, if you're going to get a new one, that's the one you should get. So moving on from there, this is a Shimano SLX. That's a 7.2 heavy. This is the one that I flip with most of the time. I don't do a whole lot of it. I just don't have a lot of grass here in Mississippi, so not where I'm at anyway. So it doesn't really get used just a whole lot, but anyway. Now moving on to my Champion. This is a Dobyns Champion XP. This is my Texas rig rod. It is a 7-foot medium heavy. It's got a Curado DC on it. Awesome Texas rig rod. Go from there, I have a Zodius 7.2 heavy. This is my frogging rod. It's got a Curado on it as well. But this is what I do most of my topwater frogging on, or rad, or whatever you might be using for that. So here, I've got 3 of these. They're all the same. It's an SLX rod, 7.2 medium heavy, with an SLX reel. You know, and I like to have a spinnerbait and a chatterbait rod, and then of course you need one for your buzz baits that you can have braid tied onto. So I like running on the buzz bait. I like running a medium heavy straight braid. When you're using with your frog, I typically like to just use a little bit heavier rod to be able to winch those fish out of grass or whatever you might be, lily pads or anything like that. So I have a Shimano Zodius. This is a 610 medium heavy. It's got the Curado 70 reel. It's a little bit smaller in the hand. That's my jerkbait rod. I like a 610 for it. Just works for me. Moving on to a Dobyns Sierra 7-foot medium light with a 2500 Stratic series on it. This is my drop shot rod. I like to use it for live bait if I'm doing, you know, if I'm doing smallmouth fishing at Pickwick or something like that. So, got 2 small rods here. This is a 7-foot Bonehead. It's a light with a Stratic 2500. That's just for like light, you know, crappie fishing or any kind of really finesse bass fishing that I might be doing if someone else needs a light rod. My wife, she runs the Shimano Sensi Light. That's a 7-foot light with a 2500 reel. That's the Sedona. Yeah, that's the Sedona. I'm sorry. So, but that's a really good reel for her. She likes it. Over there, those are just 2 catfish rods. That's a Denali and a Whisker Seeker. Those are 8-foot heavies with the Shimano Takota 300 size reels on them. Really good catfish setups for when I do catfish. These are just some deep sea rods that I use when I go gator hunting, so I can hook them with the big old hook back there. So then I got a couple other extra little rods that I use to give out to people. Mom and Dad's rods, they stay in here. So, but yeah, guys, that is it. So that is what I'm running this year. Also behind me here on the wall, just got all kind of different. These are Googan baits with a bunch of other different baits, hooks and weights and stuff like that. I keep up if I ever need to stock up. So, but yeah, that's it. So I hope you enjoyed. It's kind of a quick video. Like I said, weeks have kind of been running together. It's been so busy. So, but got a camping trip coming up in a couple weeks. That's going to be some good videos coming out, hopefully. And I'm going to be doing gear review on everything I'm going to be taking out. It's a little backpacking trip. So, yeah, y'all stay tuned for that. So I highly appreciate y'all watching. Y'all be safe and y'all stay real. God bless.